Hello and welcome to Computer Active TV. My name is Tim Smith, and in this video I'm taking a look at the Gyration Air Mouse. Now, if you've heard of Gyration before, you'll know that they do some quite clever technology that allows you to use this as a mouse on a desk, or you can wave it around in the air using a clever combination of gyroscopes and other sensors. Now, as an ordinary mouse, it's perhaps a little bit small. That's the compromise that inevitably happens when you want to use something for two purposes. It's got a laser sensor in it, like most mice, and then there's this clever button on the underside, which works like a trigger for telling it that you want to use it in the air. Simply hold it down, and then you can point the mouse around the screen, and it will move according to the angle. Now, it connects to the computer wirelessly. There's a little USB dongle that's stored inside the back of the mouse. It's quite useful, so you don't get it lost. And it works on the 2.4 gigahertz band, so it should have a range of about 100 meters, depending on anything in the way. Now, you can plug the dongle into a computer running Windows, Macintosh or Linux. It worked fine in all three of those, but it's worth sticking to Windows and Mac because the gyration software really takes advantage of this mouse. Now, the first thing it lets you do is change what the buttons do, and that's fairly standard in most mouse control panels. There's two shortcut buttons on the top here, good for maybe backwards and forwards in a browser. But the really clever one is this one here, and this allows you to use up to 8 shortcuts combined with the motion. So, hold the button down, move it up to maybe turn the volume up or move to another track, or to one side to move back in your browser. Now, there's lots of presets in the software that you can use, or you can record your own, and there's some set up for Media Center, and this is where we think this mouse scores rather well. If you're trying to use your computer when you're sat on the sofa in the living room, you don't necessarily have a book or something flat to hand to use the mouse on. Having said that though, because it's quite small, you might be better off looking into some of the Gyration remote control products that they do if you're a Media Center addict. Now, the mouse is about £60, so that is quite expensive as mice go. But having said that, it's got some really clever features, and if you do find yourself tight on space, it's a really good buy. This has been Tim Smith for Computer Active TV.